Welcome to episode 1 of the Way2Cheap Podcast, a cheaply made podcast with two budget hosts. I'm one of your hosts, Hypebeast, aka Noah, which I'm just going to refer to myself most of the other time as Noah because Hypebeast is going to be way too hard to say every single time. And here's our other host.
And I am Way2K, otherwise known as Hans, which I think is a bombshell to start the episode because none of my 19 subscribers know that my name is Hans. And
Hey,
it's
still
the
not
first.
one of your I'm one of your 19, and I knew that.
So the other 18 people, as long as
I'm also another one of them, so
now I'm going to get demonetized from YouTube.
I don't think you're getting monetized to begin with.
Well,
First started 19 subscribers.
anyways, thank you for tuning into the podcast. We want to start off our first podcast with just letting you know a little bit about ourselves and why you should keep tuning in from week to week. So I guess we'll start off with a couple basic questions and go from there and explain as we go. So Noah, if you want to start us off, what's a few little things about you? How old are you? What do you do? And then what are some of your hobbies in your free time?
All right, well, I am 25. I am an engineer in the automotive industry, and during my free time, this feels like I'm just doing like a first day intro kind of thing. But in my free time,
It's
I play
actually not an
hockey.
intro. It's a job interview. You are interviewing
right.
for your spot on this podcast.
Failed it.
You know,
Find
it
a
is
new
the
host.
it's the Way2Cheap podcast, not the cheap
Yeah.
Way2K podcast. Like,
True. But in my free time, I do YouTube for fun. I play hockey and I play video games.
is there a specific video game that you play?
No, I suck at them all. The League of Legends is the only one like
I mean, you can still
consistently
play a
all
game
the
and
time.
suck at it.
Nope, not me. I have to be good. I can't suck. That's why I quit Call of Duty. Actually, I just hate the last like 3 Call of Duties. They've all been terrible.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a hot take.
This is why I stick with playing hockey. But I play in D League just because I don't want to move up to C League because I already know too many people in D
And
League.
for those that don't know, is D League the lowest league of
Nope,
like, state
there's
hockey?
E League.
So
Alright. It goes B, C, D, E. I'm in the top divisions of D League. They told me last session that I should be in C League because I've played my whole life. But then one of the captains on one of the teams I subbed for was like, "Hey, can you stay in D League?" And then I can't even play for that team this session. So I've played hockey for 21 years, and you're basically supposed to have very little experience and no like decently competitive experience.
well, that's
in
what was going to be
hockey.
my next question. Like, what differentiates like E League from D League? Like, if you
So-
have any competitive experience, you can't play in D League.
Well, okay, so technically for D League, you're supposed to be like maybe you played when you were like a kid but stopped playing and you're just like picking it back up as an adult. So you like know
Right.
how to skate and like that kind of stuff. E League is like I've never played hockey in my life. I'm playing for fun. C League is supposed to be if you've played literally like any time, like if you've played any sort of high school hockey or anything above that, and then B League is basically if you played college or like semi-pro or pro or whatever, but you can play in B League and C League basically.
Why don't they have an A League then? If they have
I
E
don't
through
know.
B, where's the A?
Couldn't tell you.
Do they have an S plus
should-
league?
Nope. It really should just be A, B, C, and D, but I think they're just kind of stuck with the divisions. And like the top divisions of D League should probably play in C League because like half the people have played in high school at that point.
Right.
So
So, hockey, YouTube, working,
we'll include working, I guess. That's not really one of my hobbies.
but that's the life. That's the life of Chief Beast. Chief
Beast. Changing my name.
Could be Chief Beast. That would be a good rapper name.
It would be. It's like Chief Keef.
Yeah, Chief Keef, but no, it's Chief Beast.
Yeah, no, that's like all I do most of my days. I watch TV, watch some Netflix, watch some YouTube. Hang out with my dog.
Well,
my
I'd say
girlfriend.
that I'm pretty similar.
Yeah,
I'm
hockey 21 years, I assume, right?
I have not played hockey for 21 years. I have not played hockey ever. I've watched a lot of hockey, and I would love to play hockey, but I don't think that I'd ever be able to skate that well, especially not backwards.
You haven't seen people in low D League, E League. They're bad.
Well, I've seen people in League of Legends that are low, and they're pretty bad too. So I think that I'm not going to get out and play a hockey game anytime soon, although I would love to. So, if you're ever able to book ice time, and we'll take the podcast to the ice, we will
Podcast
broadcast
to the ice.
live.
You'll get me mid-game skating on a breakaway.
It'll be like Disney on ice, except for it'll be podcast on ice.
That'll be something. All right, let's get back into your intro since I cut you off there.
Oh, no,
Let's-
it's all good.
How old are you? No, let's start
I'm
there. How old are
24
you?
years old.
All right. What do you do?
Well, what I'm not doing is dying yet because I think that, as I heard earlier today when we were talking, if you're 24, your cells are still intact and they are reproducing perfectly okay.
You're just supposed to say your job.
Oh, I wanted to tie in our conversation from our last failed take.
That didn't happen. I don't remember that conversation.
No, that conversation never happened.
Nope.
Well, I heard once that at 24 years old is the peak of like your
25 is
endurance.
what
And
we agreed
no,
on.
it was not 25. You're
medical
past your
advances
peak. You're past your prime.
No, yeah, well, that's obvious. But
I'm still in it. Let me enjoy my last 8 months of.
You're over.
No, it's 6.
You're over 24
6
already.
and some change right now.
Yeah. You're in your mid-20s. It's a struggle. So what else do you do besides not die?
I am still an engineer, just like you. I guess a new engineer, as I just graduated last year. I'm a software engineer instead of mechanical automotive, working for a retail company. So that's a lot of fun. And then outside of work, I do a lot of the same things. Watch TV. Well, actually, that's not true. I watch movies, play games, make games, mainly League of Legends. I couldn't speak there for a second.
LOL esports.
LOL esports, right? Listen to music, make some music, make some cider. I do a lot of creative things. And by creative, I really mean just I produce things. I'm not very creative.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can't be an engineer and then also be creative. It just doesn't
work. That's
work.
not how it works.
Yeah, come on. We're the ones that are practical. The creative people are the ones who make it look good. And then we say, hey, that's not practical. And they go, but it looks good. And we say, all right, we'll do our best.
I thought that was strictly architectural versus like structural engineers.
So when I did something that one summer, when I did it was like a week-long thing where you had like design something. We had a design person in our group, and they basically were just like product. They were like, yeah, you guys would, if you guys had your way, it would just be a block. And we're like, yeah, it's practical. Of course it would just be a block. It would work every single time. They're like, yeah, but we make it look pretty. And we're like, yeah, so we make it work.
That is the truth. I'm trying to think.
Sorry to all you designers out there.
Oh, I forgot the most important one. YouTube. That's it. At least that's the most important one right now.
True. So you wanna tell them what the podcast is hopefully going to be in the future?
Yeah. So speaking of YouTube, that's kind of what our podcast is going to be about. We're two middle-aged or
middle-aged. Wow, we went from mid-20s to middle-aged. We're 40-year-olds.
Middle 20-year-old men living in the U.S. So it'll be a lot of the start of our growth of our YouTube channel and how two people are handling a balance between life and girlfriends and work and YouTube and kind of the growth in all those areas combined. So it should be a lot of fun. It should be kind of a variety of topics. But I think for this first one, we'll kind of continue down the path of just some introductions about what we do on YouTube and some things that we enjoy and do. So I'll pass it back to you and just let us know about your YouTube channel.
All right. So as I said in the intro, where I probably struggled really hard, I already forgot that. That was 8 minutes ago. But
it's behind us. It's in the past.
Well, I mean, it's like 8 times behind us at this point.
That's why it's called a cheaply made podcast. This is not an extravagant, lots of producers and editors kind of podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we've hired a ton of producers actually to make us sound good. They're not doing their job well. So, but my channel is Cheapbeast. I do mainly sneakers and Hypebeast kind of stuff. So if you're into that kind of scene, come check out my channel. I open up some mystery boxes occasionally, review sneakers if I ever win any, which I never do. At this point,
you'll win next time. Just keep playing.
Well, that's for the mystery boxes. The mystery boxes are fine. I don't win anything on sneakers. And if anyone's a sneakerhead out there like me and try to win stuff on sneakers or any of the sites, you know how often you lose the bots, and bots just kill everything. But right now, the biggest project I probably have working on my channel, because everything else is usually just like a one video kind of thing, is learning how to customize sneakers. I just always wanted to do it. It looks like something that was fun. So I found some cheap shoes that I'm just kind of working on, hopefully customizing here in the future. I've only got 1 episode out so far. Episode 2 should be coming at some point. I have it filmed and ready to go. I just need to edit it.
Well, for those that don't know about customizing shoes, are you painting them or are you switching the laces out? Like, how in-depth are you getting with those?
I'm going to be painting them. We may do a lace swap if I can find ones I like, and we'll see how the design works in the end. But there's, like, leather paint that's pretty generic that everyone uses for customizing sneakers. I don't feel like doing anything for, like, money or anything. Probably won't be selling them just because that's an extra step for me. I'm just kind of doing it for myself or my
500 sub giveaway?
Well, that's something down the road. That's not the customizing sneakers. We'll talk about that in a second after I talk about the main goal of the series is to make myself some Chunky Dunky blazers. The Nike Blazer is like my favorite silhouette, and the Chunky Dunky from last year. If you guys watch my videos, you'll see the Chunky Dunky is featured at least last year's talked about a lot just because it's my favorite sneaker. It was with Ben & Jerry's. I like ice cream. Ben & Jerry's is pretty decent ice cream.
Who doesn't like ice cream? Are you human if you don't like ice cream?
I mean, if you're lactose intolerant, you don't like ice cream,
but
which
they
I
have
am.
lactate, right?
Yeah, well, I don't take that. But, well, we'll drop this on the podcast since I've only said it on Twitter, but no one follows me on Twitter. It's also Cheapies YT if you guys want to follow me on Twitter. But we're probably going to do a 500 subscriber giveaway. You like that? Also, my link to my channel will be in the description of the video if you're watching it on
We'll
YouTube.
figure out if mine makes it onto the channel description.
But I'm probably going to do a 500 subscriber giveaway just because I feel like that's a pretty good milestone to hit. And it's probably going to be a Sneaker Fleet mystery box. If you've watched my channel, again, you've seen me do like 5 or 6. I think it's 6 Sneaker Fleet mystery boxes. What they have like a whole premise, but you can go check out my videos to figure out how those work. We'll probably give one of those away since I think it's pretty cool.
And then, just kind of since it's our first video, or I guess podcast, there'll be a video eventually on YouTube. Not quite yet. But, where are some like baseline stats of your channel? Like, what's your base subs right now? And what's your average likes and views? I guess we'll just go with views too.
So I have, what do I have? 339 subscribers, unless it just hit 340 today, which I don't think it did. I usually get like probably like 10 to 15 likes on my videos, and it depends on my video. Like the Sneaker Flea mystery box ones do well because I usually get on, like, if you search up Sneaker Flea mystery box, mine will be like 2 of the top 4, which is really nice. But then other ones will usually like I can get like 150 views on a good video. My best video has 12,000, but that's over like a year and a half or something at this point. It's got
that is like
1,000
times what I'm getting on my videos.
Yeah, hey, your ratio is pretty good.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. You're doing pretty good for whatever 19 subscribers you have right now.
So 12,000 views is your best one, and your average like was what?
Like 10 to 15. Usually get that.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
And then how long have you had your channel open for?
What is it? It's probably like a year and a half at this point, which is
that's
all
not
right.
bad. That's pretty good organic growth.
Yeah, it's all right. I want to be at 1,000 subscribers. I would like to be by the end of the year, but I really don't see that's happening unless I get better months. My last month, February, was terrible for me. I had like 22 subscribers. Views were down by like 1,000, but that was mostly because I only upload like 4 videos a month, and the goal is to get 8. And when you only do half of that, your growth isn't going to be that great.
Well, you know what March is about? It's the underdog story, the Cinderella story. So that'll be your channel's month.
Maybe we'll see. I upload the first day of the month, so that's pretty good for me.
That's a good start.
But, yeah, hopefully, if I sit down and edit and film stuff, I'll have it. I think I have at least 1 or 2 videos that I know of right now that I can do. So we're good.
Twice a week.
We'll see. That's a lot of work.
Don't push it that far.
Yeah, come on. If we can get like 6 videos a month, that's pretty good for me.
That'll still beat mine.
Yeah, I mean, you get 1 to 2 if you're lucky. We can talk about your channel now. I've rambled on about my channel for long enough.
Well,
we'll talk about our channels later too.
Nowhere near that exciting, but I have 19. Since we wrote the script, actually, I have gained a subscriber. So that is good progress. That's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I gained 8. We'll just talk about that real quick.
Yeah, so I'm still slightly or a lot behind. But alas, I make Parkitect videos mostly right now. That's not going to be it forever. But basically, if you don't know what Parkitect is Roller Coaster 1 and 2 kind of inspired games. So it's 2D graphics, but isometric perspective. And you have a lot of fun just building as much as as much as your creativity lets you. So my first couple episodes struggled because, as we said, we're engineers, we're not creative. So I'm really pushing the envelope on what I can do. But I'm looking forward to hopefully expanding and branching out from just Parkitect to maybe some other things. So
You got that one League of Legends video.
I do have
so
a
far?
single League of Legends video up right now, and it is performing very poorly. But it's tough because the audience that I have is there for Parkitect,
Yeah.
right? So,
I mean, yeah, most of your audience, if they found you by not being your friend,
right,
has
exactly.
found you from Parkitect, so it'd be hard just to throw in another one. You have to kind of like branch in there. You could throw in some Minecraft in there.
I would
feel
like
that
to
would
at
be,
some point. I think,
that'd be a solid stepping stone off there because like it's not the same type of game,
but it's still
like,
building.
yeah. So you could like do stuff in that.
Before I get back to where I was going, have you ever heard of Hermitcraft before?
No, I literally just actually heard about that today, but I have no idea what it is.
So Hermitcraft is a server of like the best Minecrafters. Like, I mean, there's some people who are just insane at building, insane at redstone, insane in like armor stands and different things. But the things that they create are like crazy, and they'll do different challenges and different things. But I would love to at some point, if we could get enough people that wanted to play like a Minecraft server that all like had YouTube videos. I would love to have some sort of like micro scale Hermitcraft server. I don't think it would get nearly as many views just because I don't know. I know that I'm not that talented, and I'm not sure if anybody in our friend group that would make YouTube videos
I am
is
very untalented.
that
in
talented in
Minecraft.
Minecraft. But it is an option to explore, and with saying that, I would love to branch out and make more videos in like hobbies because, as my channel description says, my goal is just to make videos about things that I like, which is, so my channel's about me. That's, it's a hobby channel. That's where we go.
Yeah, that's how you gotta do it on YouTube. I mean, you can stick to one thing, but you gotta at least like the one thing you do.
Exactly. So hopefully I'll find that kind of avenue. And speaking of next avenue, my next project, which is a spoiler, I don't know if I've told you or not yet, but I'm going to be making a March Madness video, which I have the whole script planned out right now,
Dang,
and I'll be filming it throughout this week and then the week that the brackets are finally released. So I'm looking forward to that because we missed 2020's March Madness tournament, and I'm a huge March Madness fan.
Yeah, Ohio State or Kansas would have won it all last year. Clearly, that's how I
UNC
always
would have
pick
at
the
least made the
brackets.
tournament.
Hey, they might make it this year if they win their tournament.
We'll see. I'm still hopeful. There is still hope. But I guess like the last two things to kind of match up with what you did, I think my goal would probably be by the end of the year to hit 1,000 too. I know that I'm a lot farther back from you, so that's a huge leap to kind of make.
Hey, if you get 1,000, I better get 1,000. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's probably not realistic, but by December, if I could hit 1,000, that would be a pretty cool goal. And then on top of that, just finding my stride and what I want to make. And then last thing, I'm sitting at 19 subscribers, which we already mentioned earlier, about 38 to 40 views per video, and I think roughly like 5 likes. So
There you go. That's
a little
pretty
ways to
good
go.
for 19 subscribers. I just remembered my first year of YouTube. I forgot when I started. My first year, I think it was September to September. I just wanted to get 100 subscribers, and I did it, which I'm really happy about. And since September, I've had like 239 subscribers, which is really nice. But what was I going to say? There's something part of that. I forget now. It was a struggle though. Oh, the whole reason I actually started getting like more subscribers is because I got laid off of work during the start of COVID, so I had more time to make videos, and for some reason I had a lot more motivation to make videos than I do now when
it's
I'm
because
actually
you weren't
working
bogged
again.
down with all that work stuff.
Yeah, but I had like actual like stuff was coming in, and I could actually film things, and now I'm just kind of like, I don't have anything coming in, and I'm still working. I'm not getting anything, but it was nice. I like made 2 videos a week at that point, and I was killing it.
I mean, that's kind of the tough thing, right? Is, we have projects that we want to work on, and that I'm sure when you wake up in the morning, you're pretty motivated to do. But after a full day of work, it's tough to balance.
Yeah, it's always great waking up, or not even just waking up, being like, all right, I got to film my video today, and then you get off work, and you're like, Yeah, I mean, I should, but do I really want to? Like,
How
there's other
fast can
things
I
I'd
open
rather
up a
do.
new tab to do something else?
Yeah, and it's not. It's just the setting up I don't like. I don't like setting it up, especially if like I have to write some stuff down. Like my last video is sneaker releases, and it's a very easy video to make. You just have to talk about the sneakers coming out. It's just I have to prepare and actually like have stuff ready to talk about. I can't just like blindly say, all right, this sneaker might be coming out this month. So
See, I always find it hard to find things to talk about no matter what in my videos. So the fact that you were able to write things out, I don't know how you do that. More power to you.
I go on a website that has all the sneaker releases, write down the ones that I think will do well, and then talk about them. There's other videos like the mystery boxes are really easy because you just kind of open stuff up, and that's how you figure stuff out. Like you don't know what's going to happen in it, and those ones are more fun to do just because you don't know exactly what to say in it because you don't know what you're getting. So those are nice. I wish I could do more. I feel like the trend on YouTube is obviously to do as most expensive as you possibly can, but that's not how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
That's not how I do it.
Mr. Beast it, basically.
Yeah.
You gotta have the most clickbait title.
Like one of the guys I watch, he started doing like pretty cheap ones when he was like fairly new, and then as he grew, he's on to like $250,000 mystery boxes at this point. So it's just like you slowly. I mean, like if I did $1,000 mystery box, it'd be pretty insane for me. I want to do one at some point. I need to sell a few sneakers first, and then I can be able to do it. But even like that, if $1,000, if you could like buy one sneaker if you really want to.
For a second, I thought you said that you'd have to sell a few sneakers to hit $250,000 for a mystery box. I'm like, yeah, man, those are some pretty nice sneakers.
I'm sitting on $250,000 of shoes.
Yeah, you might be able to get a slightly, bigger house with $250,000 just sitting around on your shelves.
Yeah, it happens. I don't care. I only care all about my shoes. I only probably have, I don't know, maybe 1,000 or 2 in shoes if I've resold them all, if they were brand new. So it's nothing like I have crazy amounts.
Speaking of house, though, before we branch off into the next section, when's the house tour coming? The full furnished
house tour? I don't know. The house is never clean. The setup tour was filmed at one point and the audio messed up, so I scrapped the whole video because I didn't really like it anyways. So I need to do that, and then I don't know, I could probably do a house tour at some point this summer just because we want to do some improvements still. And
you gotta film it like MTV Crib style, like tons of like cheesy cuts and edits.
I mean, I'd be down. It's just usually I sit in front of a camera. I don't like have someone follow me, which is the weird part. But
well, you do B clips. You have a camera follow you.
Yeah, I mean, not really. I don't. Everything is usually placed. The camera stays still, and I'll move or something if that's how it works. But I do. There are some videos I do want to do, but I need people. I can't just do them by myself. So one day we'll get those done. It's just I need people that want to be on camera, and you can't just be like, hey, person that doesn't do YouTube, you want to be on camera and be on YouTube, and if I ever do really well, then sorry, people are going to see you.
Well, I know we've kind of explained what we do on our channels. So to prove that we are truly experts in our craft, because who would listen to a podcast with people that aren't experts, in what they do? So I'm going to go on a limb and say that you're an expert at Hypebeast stuff and shoes, sneakers. So
I'm close enough to if we're talking about our friends, I'm by far the expert on sneakers.
Right.
If you're talking about other people, then I'm not even close.
So we're the experts of average people in our topics, right?
We like what we do, but we're close enough to experts that we're going to get.
So do you have a few questions about, the topics in your channels? And I'll have a couple I think that I've wrote up about mine that I'll ask you afterwards. So
you start.
All right. I'll ask mine first then.
There we go, because I was a little lost right there.
Well, I'll start off with...
We've made it further than we have in the past
on the previous three recordings.
So now I'm already lost.
Well, I'll start off with this one. Since I'm mainly doing Parktech right now, I think most of the questions I wrote up are about theme parks and that kind of deal. So
these questions, got it.
How many theme parks have you visited?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, wait, let me see. 3? Geauga Lake, Cedar Point, Kings Island are the 3 that I've been to, and there's
Really? Have you not been to Disney before?
No, I've never been to Disney. Never.
Disneyland
never
or
been to
World?
Florida. Nope.
Interesting.
Yep. The closest I've ever been to Disney is when I was a kid. My mom ordered like one of those DVDs, or I think it was probably like a VHS even, about like your trip to Disney and like the resorts you could stay in or stuff like that.
Was that the one that had like the scary Halloween scene? Because there was one that I had
I don't
nightmares
think
from as
so.
a child. Cause
No, it was like an informational thing.
Okay.
It was like you're trying to book your trip, and then
Got it.
this was like before the internet was real popular.
I used to have one of those VHS that was like informational about like the rainbow playhouses, and I would watch that on repeat.
Nice. And so yeah, I think it's 3. I don't think I've been. Oh no, I may have been to. What's the one in Pennsylvania?
Is it Hershey Park?
Maybe I might have been there when I was a kid.
Or one of the Six Flags? There might be a Six Flags over there as well.
I think it was Hershey Park. I feel like I was there once when I was a kid or something.
Hershey Park is actually pretty cool now, but I've never been.
But-
I'd love to.
But yeah, I hate roller coasters, so I don't like. They're fine.
Well, I hate heights on roller coasters, but I actually do like. Well, I'll say that for another question, but I think that for me it's like 5. I think it should be more, and it will be more once the pandemic goes away and I'm able to travel again. And now that I have the money to travel to the parks I want to go to,
Do you count water parks?
no, I'm not counting water parks in that. I think
because I've been to 3 water parks.
Cedar Point, Kings Island, Disneyland, or I guess Disney World. Which one's Florida? I always forget.
I couldn't tell you. It's Disney.
It is Disney. Dollywood, and then there was another one that I've been to that was a smaller park, and I don't remember the name because it was a smaller one. I don't think it was one of like the main Six Flags parks, and it definitely
Yeah.
wasn't Jaga Lake. I wish I could have gone to that one.
I went to Geauga Lake when it was Six Flags, and after when it was Geauga Lake. Right, that was the Six Flags. You're the expert.
It was Six Flags, and then it was also Cedar Fair. So, and it was like a mom and pop park before
Was
that.
there? You say you've never been there, but at one point there was like a Mr. Rogers park inside the park. This was when I was real little.
That was probably either right before Six Flags bought them out or right after. I don't
Okay,
know
'cause
who had the rights to Mr. Rogers.
I was there at that one for sure. I remember Mr. Rogers Park. It was great. I loved it.
Maybe it was Six Flags. I don't know.
I think it was Six Flags because I feel like there was also probably like some like Scooby Doo stuff, right?
I think Nickelodeon was probably Six Flags as well. Maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I was pretty young.
But I guess kind of piggybacking off of that, was Geauga Lake your favorite park, or what was your favorite one that you visited so far?
Probably Geauga Lake, just because I was a kid and I could ride like the small rides, and I don't ride any big thing. At Cedar Point, I ride the Iron Dragon, I think is what it was called.
Is that your most
all the
intense
time.
coaster?
Probably. I hate roller coasters. That one I feel safe because you're in a nice little cart. And
Yeah.
You're not like you're not flipping over. Like you might go to the side like 20 degrees, and that's
Really?
about
So
it.
you don't like inversions?
I've never been on because I don't like the drops. So if I'm never gonna get to the point where I'm dropping and then I'm gonna
Okay,
loop.
so I'm actually on the same board with. I hate drops. I cannot stand the feeling of like weightlessness or like when your stomach kind of expands a little bit. I absolutely hate that. But I love inversions, and I think that you probably would too. I mean, it'd be something you have to try once.
Probably. There's
But-
like what I think like the corkscrew or something is like right across from Iron Dragon. I've thought about riding it, but I've still been too scared to.
The problem with corkscrew is that it's been around for a while, and aero coasters, although obviously it's stayed there, it's kind of a little bumpy, a little
Well,
rickety.
this was like 8 years ago or something like that. I was there and I thought about riding it. I haven't been in a very long time. I think I last went senior year. No, I don't think I went senior year of high school. I feel like I went junior, freshman. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Well, sometime when we go down to Tennessee again, we'll have to go visit Dollywood. And why I say Dollywood is because they have a very wide range of coasters that are like low to the terrain and have some like pretty cool elements. So I think that I would ride every single ride at that park. Whereas if I go to Cedar Point, right, I'm riding maybe 25% or less. 20%.
I'd go to Ferrari World in Dubai or whatever, where you can just rock it off.
Well, they
It's
still
not even
have-
like a drop.
They still have drops on that though.
Yeah, but like they're not very. You're just going very fast. You're not like dropping like what's it called, dragster.
Yeah, Dragster, King of Car.
You're just going like very fast, and you're just kind of like going up hills.
Right.
So I'd do that just because it'd be fast.
That's why I like Maverick, is because they have the launch, like in the Min Blitzes, they have a lot of launches that are really quick, but you stay low to the ground.
Yeah.
And then I
Too
guess,
scared.
you know, this is kind of going to be a rough question because I don't think you've rode one that you wouldn't ride again. But is
I
there?
could tell you one I would never ride
Oh,
again.
really?
It's really just a whole like type of roller coaster. It's any wooden roller coaster. Hate them all.
Really?
All awful. There was the small one at Geauga Lake. So like they had the big one. It was like basically the big version of the small one. Yeah. It was like the Little Dipper or something like that. Literally, I swear. Well, first it was like, you know, like that old car where like the middle seat was just kind of just attach yourself in. Like there's nothing across your chest. Yeah, it was just one of those. And you could like
leg bars,
you'd go like over like a bump, like a hill, and you just like lift up a little bit, and you're like, I don't know if I'm surviving this. And like I swear the cart would jump off the track, and I'm like, this is terrible. I hate all wind roller coasters because they don't feel safe at all.
You would hate the racers. You might do okay with the Beast, but the Beast is probably about the same weight. They're so rickety. I mean, you come off with a headache.
I couldn't do that. They're terrible. Plus, also, the last time I feel like the last times I was at Cedar Point, got super dehydrated. So best part about it, I was in the medical like area for like 2 hours and took a nap in the air conditioning. So I was pretty happy about that. But,
I think that if you try out some of the newer, well, maybe not RMC, because RMC tends to have like a lot of height with theirs. And for those that don't know, RMC basically takes old wooden coasters and puts steel track on them. So they'll tear down parts, but they'll keep most of the support structures and put steel track on it.
You've been to Kings Island, right?
Yes.
Did you ever ride one called the Crypt?
I did not, actually.
Okay, well, it was like, so, you know, I don't know what the technical name for the roller coasters, but like you sit down and there's like a seat and you like swing around like there's a long arm on the side and you're just like in the seat and they like pull you up and then you like go in a circle.
Is this a flat ride or a coaster?
It's like a flat ride kind of thing. But we went there once in 8th grade with my school. We went for free because we had to spend all our money.
Right.
And one of my friends was like, "Oh, ride this ride. Like it's nothing. Like you'll be fine." The ride literally like you go up like once and then like at the very top of it they like point you straight down the ground. So then you just come like straight into the ground, and I'm just like, this is terrifying.
It's like one of the festival rides where they have like the rocket. It's like the rocket capsules on either side, like almost like a hammer. I feel like that's not like a ride that they have in parks though. It's
like a swing kind of ride.
Huh?
Like I don't know what to. There's rides that go like circles like this way. I know you can see the camera.
Right.
Like you sit here, like you're here like this, and it normally just goes like this, but like it's like goes faster than the Ferris wheel. But this one, like the like center point was like there, and you'd go like this, and they would like flip you over and stuff like that, and then you'd be like coming backwards. Yeah, it was crazy. I actually enjoyed it, but like hated the thought of going on it. My friends all told me it was like really easy, and then my friend who was sitting next to me told me it was easy. Was like screaming the whole time, and I was like having fun.
That's most rides. Is you always get told they're easy, and then you get on them, and maybe it's a little bit challenging. But after you get off, you're like, "Oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. I'll do it again." Until you get up there and realize that maybe it was.
Yeah, my uncle had to pay me $20 to ride one of the wooden rides in Geauga Lake, the small one, the Little Dipper. That's when I was little, and I hated it. But I still got paid $20 out of it. So
my uncle took me on the Beast when I was like 8 or like maybe younger than that, and that's why I hated coasters for so long. I think that if it wasn't for that, I would have liked coasters.
Maybe if someone would have put me on like a steel one, I probably would have had a better time. But the wooden one terrified me, and I hate the drops. So
yeah.
All right, I guess we'll go into mine one since I feel like we did. Oh no, you didn't answer. What's one you wouldn't ride again? Is it the Beast still?
No, I would go on the Beast. Actually, both the Racer and the Beast, I've been on every single seat on the entire train.
Jeez.
Which is probably, I think, like 25 seats or more. It's an even number. So maybe 26 seats, 13 rows. I forget if it's like, 3 rows per train. I don't know, whatever that math adds up to. Anyways, I think the only one that I wouldn't go on again is Windseeker. And that's not a
that's
coaster.
Like a swing ride that goes you really high up, right?
Right. And
does that one do one of the ones that like flips you or like puts you really high? It's like the really tall one,
so
right?
It's like the normal swing ride, except for it goes almost as tall as like the big drops of I think Diamondback, and I don't. Yeah. It's probably shorter than Orion. It's definitely shorter than Orion. That's there now. But we went on it like almost towards the evening, and it was like really pretty to see the scenery. But I didn't realize how fast it spun you at the top. Like, it doesn't look like it's moving that fast from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely feels pretty fast when you're up there. And the other thing I don't like is that you're only hanging down from like a single bar, like a single support beam from like the top.
Yeah.
And in my mind, like I know that it's safe. Like that support beam is way stronger than what it needs to be to hold me there. But God, that it makes my the EBGBs.
Yeah. No, those are actually one of the few rides I've thought that I could ride because I'm like, there's no real drop in it. You're just kind of spinning really fast.
Yeah, there is no drop to it. But like, so when you're going up, I didn't think it was that bad going up because like you don't go very fast. But then when you get to the top, it expands. So like you're pretty narrowed and like close to like the center pillar when you're going up. Once you hit the top, it like expands and you go out on like an angle. So instead of going like you're sitting like perpendicular to the ground, you're at like a, I don't know, 15 or 20 degree angle. It's not very much. And then they spin it up and start going faster. And that was the part that I did not like.
Yeah, you're right. I'd probably have to ride one of the ones that's at like a fair first before I would ever do that one.
Yeah, that if they could cut the height maybe in half, I think I'd like it more.
Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't do that because what's the point of doing that?
It's a lot taller than it looks from the ground when you're up there.
All right, we'll go into mine. Mine aren't that great, mostly because I didn't write them.
I am thrown under the bus already.
No, I said because I didn't put much effort into it. We'll say that. But and plus I already had you on a video, so I did a video series a while ago where I like had my friends who aren't sneakerheads at all, know nothing about sneakers, like come on and pick a bunch of sneakers. So I know some of these answers. At least I would kind of know some of these answers. But we'll go with your first one. How many pairs of shoes do you own?
Are we counting dress shoes in this?
No, because I have a couple of those that I don't
just
count.
Sneakers.
Just sneakers.
I currently own 3 pairs of sneakers. I have 1 pair that is 8 years old, 1 that is 6 years old, and 1 that is 3 years old.
You need to get new ones.
And no, sorry, I'm wrong. It is 6, 4, and 3. That sounds a little bit better, right?
You need some new ones. No, back when so before I got really into like sneakers, I was like a 1 a year kind of person, like for school. Like that would be I would get 1 new pair of shoes a year, and they like would get beat up, and then I like started getting into sneakers, and now I have how many are on? There's 10 right there. There's another 3 there. I think it's like 20, 22 or something like that. I think it's like 22. I have a whole video of my sneaker collection, and I haven't really added anything this year, so I think it's like 22 at this point.
I used to be on that same trend of like 1 a year, but that was when I was running cross country, or maybe it was like sometimes 2 a year. It just depended on how many miles because when you're putting 1,000 miles or however many it was in a year on your shoes, they'll break pretty quickly, even with running shoes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of that was because I would get hockey skates, and not every year, but like especially when you're growing up, your feet are growing pretty fast,
right?
So you'd get like 1, and then like 2 years later, you'd have to buy a new set, and they're pretty expensive. I think my last ones in high school, because my ones before that broke. My last ones I think were $500. So I think the ones that I just bought recently were like $300. So
my last 3 pairs of shoes together could combine and be less than your $500 pair of shoes.
I mean your shoes combined are probably less than. No, it's probably
they're probably a little under
Yeezy.
400.
Okay, a little under 400. I could sell one of my shoes and get more than that.
Yeah, because I think most ASIC shoes go like 120 or 114.
Yeah. Most like running shoes are like 120, something like that. Unless you get like a Nike one that's kind of expensive.
My Nike free runs I think were probably about that price too. So yeah, they were all probably.
Yeah, you're probably like 120. So like Nike has other ones that get pretty expensive. There's like the like super technology running ones that are like 200 or something crazy like that. But yeah, so I feel like I don't even ask this type of question, but favorite type of shoe, I assume for you it's gonna be like a running shoe.
Yeah, I would say that's the one I've liked so far, but I'm open to trying new ones. Like,
hey, you were on the series. I've let you pick out plenty of shoes.
I guess I would say anything with blue then. It doesn't have to be a specific like brand. If I could get a light blue, a teal, or a dark blue colored shoe. Doesn't matter the brand. I'd probably
There
wear
are
it.
plenty of those out there, especially Nike. Nike makes so many shoes. What I've learned from my sneaker
do.
experience, they make so many. Mine's favorites is usually like the athletic ones, like the low top. But I do really like the Blazers. Blazers are my favorite.
I should have
Ones
said
are
low
pretty
top
cool.
too, because I
Yeah.
can't do high top shoes. They look
I-
so strange on me.
See, I used to not think I could wear them when it was warm and with shorts. And last year I was wearing them towards the end of the year when it was getting colder, and I could actually pull them off. And I'm like, cool. Now I learned I can do that. But usually I wear low top ones like Yeezys and other running shoes and stuff like that.
I should have said dad shoes. That's my favorite type of shoe. Right?
No, no, you're not an Air Monarch guy. Shout out to David.
Hi David, if you're watching this podcast.
He's
by the
not.
way.
Yeah, he might have watched it 5 minutes in and stopped. I feel like I know the answer for the other question that I have here is, do you own any Hypebeast merch? So Supreme, Kith, who else?
So can
Any,
Funko Pop be considered Hypebeast
Nope.
merch?
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure unless you
Positive.
have no, they don't have any Bape ones. No, unless you have any Bear Bricks.
What about Riot
don't
Games merch? Is Riot Games
Nope.
merch considered Hypebeast? What about Marvel the One? Is Marvel the One considered Hypebeast merch?
I don't think so. I don't think that fits into the Hypebeast thing.
Who gets to decide? Is there a council of people that decide how Hypebeast?
I feel like there's the Hypebeast, the streetwear culture wouldn't be wearing Riot stuff. They might be
that's
wearing
probably
100 Thieves stuff because it fits in with the streetwear brand
Sure.
because that's what they want. But
So it has to be streetwear. That's what
yeah,
Hypebeast
would be Hypebeast stuff. A lot of the Supreme stuff. So you see behind me, I have Supreme blimp.
right.
But that's the Hypebeast kind of stuff. Stuff that isn't anything crazy, but people are really want it. That would be Hypebeast stuff.
I think all of that stuff is really cool, but I just can't see myself getting them purely because the price tag that's associated with
Yeah,
limited run things.
Yeah, that's basically Hypebeast stuff is the limited stuff. You can't just go to a store and pick it up.
Well,
I feel
my limited edition Funko Pop, there was only
okay,
300 of.
That doesn't count. I'm talking. You know what I meant. Jesus Christ. Moving on to the next topic. We're done with that. I don't think I have anything else. I have a lot of Hypebeast stuff, obviously.
I have one last
some
question
Supreme
before we
stuff.
switch topics.
Okay.
What size shoe do you wear? That's shoe
13.
related, right?
That is, I'm a 13. I'm 6'2", so I have really big feet.
I don't sound it, but I am 6'4".
Yeah, I'm
Can't
so
guarantee.
we'll go into this at a later date podcast, but we were roommates also in college. I guess we probably should have
Right.
said that forever ago.
Yep. That should have been the
And
first thing
the
we
day
said.
I moved in, yeah, we definitely should have said. I meant to say it earlier, but the day I moved in, I was the last one to move in. Hans helped me move in, and we got in the elevator, and two of the people that lived in the room next to us were also in the elevator, not helping. And one is 6'7", one is 6'6", and I'm 6'2".
Giants.
So I was 2 inches smaller than everyone in there, other than my mom. My mom was also in there, and she's just like, "Wow, you look small," and I'm not short, which is crazy.
Yeah, there was
So.
some very tall people on our floor.
There was. Yeah, that's why I never feel like I'm tall, because most of my friends are usually 6 foot. And if they're not, they're usually taller.
That's a cool thing, though, because your friend group will stand out in a crowd, right?
Yeah. But
Easy to find.
people will be you're tall and stuff. And I'm just I don't feel tall. I feel like I'm average height for a guy, but I'm way above average. So that's good. All right. Now we
It's
can
good
go
to be above average.
We can go to some of this. We probably could speed run this since we're already at 44 minutes.
Well, I think we'll save some of that for a later episode, maybe.
Okay.
And
Well,
we'll
then
just go to our favorite section that we've added.
We'll go to the once a week or whenever we do the podcast. We'll try to figure that out.
It might be able to do
my
once a
girlfriend,
week.
We'll try. We failed once already.
We did
And
fail
that was just getting the first one. But my girlfriend decided to post a question every week. And she just made this one up on the spot. And I'm not gonna make it.
We got to do a little jingle for it. Shelby's
nope.
question of the week.
All right. Well, we're
Can
cutting
we animate
one
that?
out. Yep, we'll work on animation. If any of our listeners animate stuff, make that right there. But she made this question of the week, and I'm not gonna cut it down because I just feel like what's the first?
We're gonna get
episode?
demonetized already.
We
Then
can't get demonetized. That's the thing. You just mark it as not for kids.
it's
and you're
gonna
good.
ruin our YouTube algorithm.
Have
from
you
the,
seen-
from the first?
Have you seen everyone else on YouTube? Do you think they care about what I'm about
Yes.
to say? No, They don't.
Yeah.
So, here's the question that was posed to us that we will debate on for a second. If you had an unbreakable baseball bat, an unlimited amount of cocaine, and no worries about overdosing, how many 8-year-olds could you destroy if they came in waves where they add one each time? So you start with 1, 2. It's like zombies if you guys play Call of Duty. But you had an unbreakable bat and an unlimited amount of cocaine. What round are you making it to?
I know when we first talked about this, you said it was a factorial. So it is not a factorial.
It's not factorial. It's just adding
It's not
one each time.
exponential either. It is just a single, an addition of 1.
Yes. So what round are you making it?
Honestly,
You don't have a round.
can we have a mental state associated with this too? Because
You're just jacked up on cocaine.
well, my question is, if I know that it's an infinite amount of rounds, like that,
You don't.
That,
You literally
that
go in
weighs
there
on you.
and they just say, "Hey, swing this bat at what's coming at you, no matter what it is." And you don't get told that you're never ending. You're just getting told, "All right, go have fun."
Well, Michonne from The Walking Dead has double swords, and so that's probably significantly lighter. Actually, maybe not. They're metal, so maybe they're heavier, but they're also more aerodynamic.
She's not doing cocaine the whole time.
She's not doing cocaine. There was a Walking Dead guy that had a bat, wasn't there?
Probably,
At
but
some point
it's
in
just
time.
like we'll go with a metal bat because it's a little lighter.
Metal bats are lighter than wooden bats?
Yeah, wood mats are so
okay,
heavy.
you're right. They're aluminum, right? Or
Yeah.
what are they made out of?
Aluminum.
Oh, that's what I thought.
We'll go titanium just for this. What round? I would say.
Yeah, give me your answer first. I didn't know.
I would say 25.
25.
Because at that point, I feel like you're around like 100 or something. And that's a lot of stuff to be swinging.
So here's my other
I'm assuming
question.
there's some muscle fatigue eventually.
Well,
like your muscles might collapse.
Yeah, your muscles will fatigue. If you could rest, like if you could
Nope.
kite them around to the point where you could rest.
You're like in a box. So you can't
How,
really
how
kite
small
anywhere.
is the box?
I don't know, like the size of your room.
Yeah,
So-
there's not much resting happening there.
No, you don't. And they're kind of just like we'll say you can like obviously get to a corner, but like if you get overwhelmed, then you're done.
Well, so do you think that you'd make it to the point where you'd be dehydrated? Like
It doesn't matter. The cocaine takes care of everything.
Well, cocaine's not going to help you drink water.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I don't think you're making it past 25. I wouldn't make it past 25 because at a certain point, there's just gonna be way too many in there, and you're probably gonna be slightly tired.
I feel like it's less than 25.
I feel like it could be 25.
Do you
It's
think
only
that I could
8-year-olds.
run a simulation on this?
I mean, if you want to, but you would have to somehow figure out how to factor in the cocaine.
I mean, the cocaine is just you don't have anything but adrenaline. You just keep going.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the cocaine.
Well, then you run a simulation and tell me what round you get to, but tell
Okay.
me right now.
What's the average height of an 8-year-old? We'll throw
I
that in
couldn't
the
tell
simulation.
You're asking too many questions. About
I'm just
this.
trying to figure out what my answer would be.
We'll say like 3'2" or something like that. Half your height.
Half of my height. So I'd have the reach on them too. That helps a little
Yeah,
bit.
well, that's the point. Like they're not supposed to be. They're not going to be faster. And you're not going to be stronger than you. Just have to swing a bat, hit them, and
This
knock
is so
them out.
depressing, actually.
It doesn't matter. You're fine. It's
I'll
just
say
a
round
question of the
21.
week. 21. So you're not making it 4 rounds less than me.
I'm significantly less strong than you are, so
I don't believe that.
I will say that the cocaine will
have-
help me out to keep me close to where you're at, but overall, if I'm not drinking and I'm not eating, my body's going to have some wear and tear in it pretty quickly, especially because if you're adding 1 per round, at round, I guess it's still 20. It's not factorial, right? But
No, yeah, I was trying to figure out.
20 is still a lot, especially if you're in the size of my room. Yeah, maybe not even round 20. Maybe round...
See, we're going to give you the benefit
10.
of the doubt. You're not going to have to hit them like 7 times each. You're going to hit them like once or twice, and then they're done.
Okay, well, that makes it easier.
So you're not going to have to just like keep swinging them until they're just like completely done.
Well, because I was going
You
to say,
just,
if
like,
you keep swinging, it's going to be like...
No, it's
10,
basically like
but-
insta-kill on Call of Duty.
All right.
You hit them once and you're good. But you have to like hit them pretty hard. You can't just like
I'm glad that
poke
this
them and
is a
they're done.
game and not real life.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I'll go in the... We'll go mid-20s then.
Okay. That's where I'm thinking.
I'll go 24. Since you went 25 and you're 25,
All right.
I'll go 24.
There
1
we
per
go.
year.
per
Every year
year.
you
That's-
level up.
Until you hit like 40 and then you're struggling real
and then
hard
you
in
go
round 10.
down.
Yeah.
Or in our case, since I'll bring it back to the start of the
Oh my
episode.
goodness.
At 24 years old, you start going downhill. So,
Well, somehow I made it past it.
yeah, Noah had the cheat codes.
Hit my peak. Well, I think that's a good place to end it.
I think so too.
I think that was a solid first try. This has been our first take.
It's
Hopefully
definitely
everything
not the
went well
first
this
take.
time. We're getting better. Episode 2 will be better. We'll hopefully figure it out. But if we don't,
I was going to
you
say I
won't
like
know
what I
about
said
that.
more in the previous takes, more than this one, but no one will ever know what I said, so they'll have nothing to base it on.
Exactly. The first take was like an hour long, and we're only at 50 minutes. But we were excited about it. And
I was
after the
a different
7th take-
man. It was a different time.
Yeah, after the 7th take, we're done with it.
All right, well, you say your version of the outro, and I'll do mine, and then we'll pick
All
which
right.
one's better.
So this was the first episode. Thank you guys for watching or listening wherever you listen are. We're still figuring out where we need to get everything on, but for sure on YouTube. Both our links to our channels are in the description. Make sure you hit the like button to beat the YouTube algorithm, as some people like to say, and then also subscribe for future episodes. And obviously, like I said before, go to both our channels, hit subscribe on those, so then you can get as much content from the both of us as you want. So,
Or as much as we
Thank you.
push out.
yeah, well, I mean, I have plenty of videos they can go back and watch.
Well, I don't.
There's time for me.
That is true. But I
So,
guess until next
Thank you guys
week,
for watching.
thanks for watching. See you later, everybody. Take care. Bye.